Our Musical History by Sandra McCoy. Music plays an important part in every society. It can enhance the mental and spiritual development of individuals as well as the development of a people as a whole. Jamaican music boasts a very colorful historical past. We have been influenced by many different cultures, and they have affected our music to some degree. However, in spite of these interventions, we have managed to develop a style that is truly Jamaican. Jamaica's musical history goes as far back as the days of the Arawak Indian. Music was of great importance to these people as it was used in religious worship. They made drums from the hollow stems of the trumpet tree with manatee skins stretched tightly across. They also made flute, harp, and timbrels. When they were praising their gods, voices were accompanied by the music, and this combination gave birth to folk music. A large part of our musical heritage grew from African roots as the slave brought a very rich culture from their homeland. Folk music was very popular during the slavery period. Life on the sugar plantation was very hard, and music was used as a means of relief from the harsh conditions. Music was also used as a means of communication, and here again it played a significant role in worship. The use of the drum was predominant, and after a while, plantation owners began to realize that the music could be a serious threat to them as it was being used by the slave as a means to keep in constant communication with each other, and they eventually banned drumming, which was the most important musical form. However, the maroons and runaway slaves continued to play the drums, and the slave masters never succeeded in silencing the human voice. After the period of slavery came the colonial period, in which classical music flourished along with folk music. Europeans who came here brought their culture and lifestyle. The mento began to evolve. At this time, it was a combination of British folk songs and calypso. Around 1850, a new interest in classical music arose. The Louis Winkler Music Room was set up at King Street. In 1804, a choir and orchestra was set up by the Madame de Montesquieu. Many attempts were made to provide the country with a permanent symphony orchestra, but they all failed. On July the 1st, 1947, musicians came together at the Carloville and 4 Central Avenue, Kingston, and the Surrey Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra was started. As more and more musicians joined up, the name was changed to the Jamaica Philharmonic Orchestra, and they enjoyed a good deal of success. In the early 50s, distinct changes became evident in the island. The completely agricultural society began changing to an urbanized society, and country folk began moving in droves to Kingston and the larger parish capital. Reggae began to show up, and the American influence started creeping in. Rhythm and blues was the popular music on the American scene, and it soon became the most popular music in the Caribbean as well. At that time, we had no significant music of our own because of colonial domination, and we really accepted the rhythm and blues, which we could identify with to some extent. Recording facilities became available on a very limited scale, and the 78 records started appearing,